Welcome to the FoundHer Podcast.
We are two women who knew nothing about starting a business, but with our faith and a lot of determination, we founded our company that has grown to over 7 figures in just 3 years.
We're sharing all that we've learned, our secrets to building a brand and a long-lasting foundation to gain time and financial freedom.
We're both moms to 4 kiddos, and through the peaks and valleys of being a business owner, we're finding our true purpose, and it's more than we ever imagined.
So join us as we get real and have some fun along the way.
All right, welcome back. Here we are. And it's exciting. I haven't seen you because I'm going to talk to you about
She had a disease.
Okay, well.
A really gross disease.
It's not a disease. It was a virus.
Okay.
It was
Still really gross.
I want you to tell me all about what I missed because I was at home. We've had conjunctivitis going through my family. All but one of us got it, and I got it in both eyes, and it was miserable.
Yes. Wait, will you just show? So we still had to do our whole week of like Zoom meetings.
I just worked from home.
Conference calls and all those things. So she would be on calls trying to be all like serious and like CEO-like. And
hold on. I would literally be talking like I'm like leading a section or challenging thinking or telling me. I'm like, guys, I just want everyone to take us seriously. But then I could see it was like a meeting and Heather was sitting in the middle and I could see Heather's face and she was like,
no way. Like I cannot.
I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Like, of course, the best. And then it just always looked like you were so upset because like the
and then I'd be like,
would just be like streaming down the side of your face. And
I was like wiping and wiping.
It's not that serious. Like get it together. Come on. Be like a little bit professional here. Like
control your emotions.
Pull it together. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm happy that you have both of your eyes back.
They're back. They're well. Actually, they still burn only when I wake up.
Actually, we probably really should have like recorded. We did not record last week because of that. And also, actually, I didn't really want to be that close to you. I don't know I think you have to touch something and then I have to touch something.
Yeah.
But it just really was not going to be worth the risk for me because.
No, we both can't not see. That's not good.
No. And the way it just like spread through your entire household, like no matter, I just didn't.
I kept one of the twins. It was just one of the twins didn't get it. How that happened is beyond me.
You really thought that you were free too, like you thought that you were free and clear, and then
we made it.
No, I'm not ruling it out. Still, I feel like I could still get it. Yeah, I know.
The amount of times I've washed my sheets is abnormal. But that's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we did skip a week of recording.
So I have a lot. I've not had any fun, except I did find a new TV show that I'm quite obsessed with. It's called The Resident.
Oh, right. Is it like a real life
medical show? It's like based in a hospital.
But it's like true story. Like
no, not true.
Not true.
However, like when they say when they're like diagnosing or treating, everything's very factual. Like it's not like
so it's like ER,
but modern day and like
ER was modern day.
Oh yeah, back then.
I mean,
modern day medicine, Right. But then it was like intertwined with like drama, like love stories and all this stuff, and then also
so ER. Did you ever watch ER?
Yes, I have. I know. As I realize I'm explaining this, and then there was like. Traumatic things happened. They lost funding. You've got the medical field, and
so it's just like a new ER.
Yeah, and the twisters came, and
it's a new ER, right? You have natural disasters, and
it was just so it's so good.
So Diane's watching ER, so you're gonna want to check that out on NBC.
It's Netflix, and it's The Resident, and it was on Fox, I believe. And there's a lot of seasons, and I may or may not have watched almost 4 seasons already.
Whoa.
They have like 20 episodes each season.
Oh my gosh.
Love it though. Anyways, let's talk about your
what she missed out on, our team decided to start doing like quarterly outings, which is really fun. So one of the girls organized, we got tickets to see a local comedian,
Bob Marley,
who I didn't really know anything about. I'd never seen him before, but he's super New England based. I feel like if you're not from around here,
he's from Bangor, Maine.
Might not be that funny, but he was actually hilarious. So we grabbed drinks and dinner beforehand and went over there and had a bunch of laughs. And then I have this thing. So, being a single woman and all, I just buy 2 tickets to whatever I want to go to because I'm not missing out on things I want to do. I really like going to shows and concerts and whatever. I still want to have fun. So I'll just buy 2 tickets and I just will figure it out. I don't really worry about it. I'll figure it out. And typically the last few times that I've done this, I maybe like 2 days in advance, I try to be respectful. I feel like a 2-day heads up is like pretty, I don't know. Is that respectful? Anyway, I've got this friend and I literally just have to text her and I just say what time to be at my house. And she says, what do I wear?
I mean, if she can go, right? If she has
to
go. Yeah.
No, but she's never not been able to go. She's just like.
Yeah, she always is able to go.
Yeah, of course. I'm in. What do I wear? Like if it's like a
She doesn't
theme.
even ask what
No,
it
she's like, do I wear
fun.
fishnets? Do I put on a cowboy hat? Am I wearing my,
workout clothes,
spandex or a cowboy, whatever. So I was like, put on your middle-aged mom best and be to my house at 6:30.
So fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so
and then you went to see a second comedian.
Right. So
in
then,
one day.
So that was that night, and then we went to see Nate Bargatze at the Garden, and he's amazing, and I've like loved him for a really long time, and super excited for his newfound fame, and he's freaking hilarious. So,
and the best part, I think, is you didn't say this part. So she still doesn't know where they're going, right? Who they're going to see. So it's our friend Casey.
No, I don't even tell her until we literally pull into like the Garden parking lot.
I think she was walking in, and she was like, wait, I know this guy.
No,
I love this guy.
It wasn't until he did his act.
Oh.
Like until like there were 2 openers, and then it wasn't until he was like literally on the stage. She was like, wait, I know him from Saturday Night Live. It's like the best skit I've ever seen ever on Saturday Night Live. Like she was like floored and texting her husband like, you're not going to believe like where I am.
And then Heather
and if you haven't checked it out, his SNL skit literally is like the best SNL skit ever about like the Revolutionary War people, and it's great.
And then pulling in today, you were like, oh, by the way, I have a new place that I want to go tour or go to a trip or whatever. And then you were like, I'm just going to text her like, hey, we're going to be gone for 6 days and you need a passport.
You probably got to get your passport. Yeah.
You won't even know where you're going.
I want to go to the Azores, which is Portugal. And they call it the European Hawaii. It's 8 hours closer to us than Hawaii. And there are flights directly out of Boston. Yeah, so that's on my new trip agenda.
Oh, that's fun. I can't believe it's closer than Hawaii.
Yeah, Portugal.
Yeah, you act like that. I know where that is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know where Portugal is, like by Spain?
Again, it's across the pond.
It is
That's
across.
all I know.
It is across the pond, and it's for us. It's much closer because we're already on the East Coast, so we go. We go right instead of left on the old map there.
Yeah, me and geography, not friends. Like my nephew still to this day will ask me to name the 7 continents because he's like, you can't do it.
I think you can now. Do you want to give it a go?
No.
Yeah, do it. You can do it. Okay, ready? 7, go.
Europe. Go with the hard ones first. North America. South America, Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica.
Sure.
Do you know that?
I feel like I have to check you. Wait, what's the last one? Wait, was that all of them?
7.
Okay. I think you're right. Asia, Africa, North, South, yeah. Europe and Australia.
Yes.
You did them all.
I did it. But I will tell you, in high school when he was doing this to me, he was like, you can't do this. I could not. Oh my gosh.
Have you seen that? I don't know if it's like a TikTok or whatever, but it's this, I wish I knew who it was. Anyway, he'll go up to what appear to be college-aged students and ask them, I'm talking like the most ridiculously easy questions, what state is New York in? Or I'm not even kidding. Like what continent is America in? Like the simplest questions ever, and they get them wrong. And then, but he lies and he goes, "That's right." Like they'll say the dumbest answer ever, and it'll be like, "Yeah, you're right," and then walks away.
I love in the morning when I'm doing drop off. It's like, I don't know what it's some country station in the morning on talk whatever they do 10 you have to it's 10 questions in like a minute, right? And you've got to get them right. to win the money. It's like my favorite game to play because they ask you, like, one of them was like, you know, what is, if you were to put all the Patriots quarterbacks in alphabetical order, who comes first? This guy's so calm. He's like, Brady. And I'm sitting like, no, it's not Bledsoe. Like, no. And then it was like, when did something happen? 1969, 79, or 99?
Ooh.
Yeah, like just and it's so fun, like fast, rapid trivia that's all over the place. Like, who was the guy in Home Improvement over the fence?
Wilson.
Yeah, right? Like, you're like, Wilson, I know this one. Yeah. But they're so fun to play. Like, I love that.
Well, I'm pretty competitive anyway, so I mean, I don't feel like I'm super smart about a lot of stuff, but I do like trivia, and I like to
love trivia.
Think that I know all that stuff. Anyway, so we had a great time. So you should follow comedians. Everybody needs like a little bit of a laugh in their life. I feel like
favorite? All-time favorite.
All-time favorite? I don't know. I feel like I wasn't really into them until like maybe the last few years. I don't know why. I feel like my life got very serious, and so I needed like a funny outlet.
Why are you so serious?
Right? I don't know. When like I feel like when heavy things happen to you, you need to be funny.
Yeah, you gotta laugh, right? Laughter's
right. I don't know. Sometimes life just feels too serious, and I just love watching those things. Like, do you follow like? No, you don't. Because never mind.
Try me. Maybe I do.
You don't. I follow this page, Jerry of the Day, which is like all just like skiing accidents.
Wait. I think I might.
Well, probably because I mentioned it. Maybe it's just all people colliding and jumping off of like cliffs and just.
No, it's a different Jerry. It's a fresh word, Jerry. F Jerry.
Oh.
You know what that is?
No.
Same thing, I think.
Same thing, just like bad things happening to people.
Maybe he decided to not have a fresh name and changed it.
I don't know. This is all really specific to winter sports, for the most part.
Yeah, these people. They have 17 million followers with the fresh word.
No, this is different.
It's funny though. This is fun. This is funny. I laugh all the time.
Okay, right?
It's good.
This goes back to all of our distractions and being funny.
Maybe I should. Actually, I don't follow them anymore because it was I cleaned my list, and that took me about 2 hours.
Straight and narrow. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. What are we talking about today?
Well, one of the things that we were talking about the last time was about like staying true, you know, as business owners and just people, staying true to who you are and what you believe in or what's important to you or whatever you started your business for, not losing sight of that. And it's really easy for, as all the curveballs are thrown your way to change and to not be sure and to second guess yourself and
I think if right now in like the social landscape, this is really hard for people to do because we're in a culture of a cancel culture. Nobody wants to offend anybody. Everybody wants to be all inclusive. You want to everything's okay and fine, and you don't want to offend anybody, right? I feel like that is just the way of our culture right now. And to be anti anything is kind of, I don't want to say putting like a mark on you, but it takes a lot more guts to stand up for something that is not considered mainstream. And we're on the East Coast, so we are in the super liberal landscape. So just saying anything that is against that, or if what could be even perceived.
Well, I see. That's what I think. It's like you can't. There's certain things like you might have done all along, or thought all along, or said all along, and all of a sudden now you can't even say that, and it's like for what?
Right, and you're like, why? I didn't change nothing. I didn't change anything that I believed.
What happened? Right, like, right. I don't understand.
But we'll frame this as in our brand specifically, but I do think it just applies to your principles as a person, as a family unit, how you are perceived in your own place of employment, how you show up to your friends, in your circles, what are you known for in your circles? Do you know what I mean? But as a brand, how did first of all, what would you say that we stand for? And we've said this from the very beginning. when we very first started, we wrote out our values, our mission.
Talk about that because, there's a lot of times that we write things and you and I will be like, oh, edit that, change that word, put a period over here. I think that's a run-on sentence.
We can overthink things a lot,
like
too.
we definitely do. Or like 6 eyes are better than 2, and it's just like enough, right?
Right.
And you came home with our mission, values, and philosophy from work one day and sent it over to me.
Yeah.
I didn't change one thing about it. So where did it come from?
Well, I'm pretty sure I wrote it in the middle of the night.
You definitely did.
Which is really when I do my best work.
Opposite.
But when, we're starting something new, what are we doing this for? What do we care about? What is our mission? Where do we want this to go? And what do we stand for? Because I feel like if you don't have that core of what do you stand for? What's most important to you? You have to have something to fall back on. And I feel like we even have to remind ourselves of what we wrote then to make sure that every single move we're making and everything that we're doing is aligning back to what we said is the most important thing. Because if not, you'll be blown every which way and like follow a trend or let's try this, let's try that. But does it align back to what you said was most important to you when you started?
Right.
So what are the top 3 things that are most foundationally like?
You take the first one because I really want to take the second one because I just added more notes to it because I actually remember a part of our value that is written. I just wrote it word for word. That's how impactful it is to me. So you take the first one and I want to take the second one.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's God first above everything. I remind myself, and this is often my prayer, is that I don't want to do anything or be anywhere or I don't want to be in a place where he doesn't want us to be. I don't want to do anything that he doesn't want us to do. I don't want to go anywhere that he hasn't already foundationally laid a path for us to go. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, does this align with what he wants us to do?
Right.
Second
one. Family is our top priority. Yeah. And it's for all team members.
You mostly have to remind me of this one.
Yes, and I try really hard. Mm-hmm. But family is our number one priority. And we're not talking about, great Uncle Sally over here. We're talking about our 4 walls and our home life, right? And a senior's last hockey game is no more important than a 3-year-old's first T-ball game. And a preschool graduation is no more important than, a semi-formal for an 8th grader. It's all important. And we need to support each other to make sure that we all make that a priority and we help each other because we're all not going to have the same big milestones at the same time or need to be somewhere. But no, get out of here. Yes, you're on the clock till 5. Get out of here at 4 so you can get home and enjoy it. We got it. No worries. Don't worry about it. And there's no, as soon as that person walks out the door, we're chatting about it, right? No. Or, hey, I'm going to come in a little bit late. I want to see my kid play. It is very first always is making sure that the family
and this is not just for you and I.
Everybody.
This is for our entire team.
And the value that I wrote down, it's I forget where it's written, but it says we value time and consider it precious. And I think for me, this is the thing that I remind myself all of the time. And it's a key indicator, right? If I'm asking myself or say to myself, that's 3 hours of my life I'm never gonna get back.
I've heard you say that a lot.
There's a problem, and I've got to change because that's true. These 24 hours that we're in right now, we never will repeat, right? And so we have to consider it precious. And if what we're doing isn't fueling us or giving us joy or our family sacrificed,
right?
Then change.
And not saying that you don't ever have to spend your time in a way that you wish you weren't. Of course. We all have to do things that we maybe would rather be doing something else. Of course. But especially I think after going through a loss, you think of time much differently. And and having not been through that exact same loss, I think that you've taught me a lot about valuing time. And you only get these moments once. don't take it for granted. You don't know when this time will ever happen again, or this opportunity or whatever. So like make the most of your opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And say yes every time you can.
And say yes and make the time. The work will always be, always. You say that too.
Yeah.
The work will always be there.
It's just going to look different. Might not be the same thing.
Right. And I just told my sister this morning, the laundry will still be there. The dishes will still be there.
Yeah, for you to say that?
Right?
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes.
You got to do what's most, and as a mom, and like when you're, in charge of your household, that stuff can be stressful and overwhelming. And yes, I mean, we say it's just dishes or laundry or whatever, but it does stress out your whole thing. And you said it, you were like all bent out of shape this morning about not in a bad way, but just like, I don't feel prepared for my week. I didn't get my groceries. My house is a mess. Like, I don't feel prepared for my week. And it threw off your whole mojo this morning because you were just like, right. It just throws you all off. And so when something gets thrown our way or a curveball, and my sister, like something else came up that wasn't what she had planned, but she's like, I know this is where God needs me to be right now. I need to go and do this to help this person. I'm like, you're going to be blessed for doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, of course, there's, well, I don't want to super get into it, but there is like a little controversy in like the school district right now. But like, I truly believe that when you're standing up for what God wants you to do and what you believe in, you will absolutely be blessed for doing the right thing. I feel like I got a little bit off track there, but like, I really feel strongly about it.
Go.
I feel strongly about that. But anyway,
but it's not only just being blessed, right? Like sometimes it's not about like if I do this, you do this, right? It's not about that.
It's doing what's right and not caring about the consequences because you know that it's right.
Yeah. And I think, I'm just going to share it because this was my mom's, like, I have her, I can hear her voice still. That no one will ever know if you did your dishes tonight or tomorrow. So if that means that your kid wants to do a puzzle, go do a puzzle with your kid. Your dishes will still be there. Who cares? You know what? I actually learned, I've learned a lot of lessons from you about this too, but my best friend, I will never forget, and I wrote this down fairly recently. I was like kind of remembering all the things that she taught me about being a mom. She was my first friend, like my first mom friend ever, like when I had my daughter, and she had a daughter a little bit older. And I remember every time I went to her house, she would sit down. And I know this is going to sound like so dumb, but I'm just like a doer and I'm always busy. And especially if I have people over, I'm hosting, I'm picking up and I'm getting you a drink and I'm wiping a counter and I'm getting a snack and I'm like tending to the children. Like I don't really sit well. I'm not good at being still. And I remember anytime I went to her house, or if I was at like our kid's birthday party, she would be like sitting and like just socializing. And that sounds so dumb, but like I remember she was savoring the moment.
I remember her sitting and being present. And when I came over, we would just sit. I know that sounds like that's dumb, but I still remember that to this day, though, being like, she just taught me to slow down and be present.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
And that's a really big lesson to do, especially for somebody who's busier, right? And doesn't, I don't sit well in my own quietness.
Yeah, you've talked about that.
And stillness.
We've heard that one. I'm working on it. Right.
It's a work in progress. But anyway, that's a big life lesson that I learned from a friend that I take with me to this day.
Okay, third one.
And then our other value is honesty and transparency. And I don't know if you can really tell, but we are pretty authentic, transparent people. I've always said, I will tell you anything you want to know about me if you want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's also, it's not just about like you personally or anything like that, but it's about being honest and transparent with our team in particular, right? So sometimes in workplaces there can be noise, I call it, nonsense.
Yeah.
And while, sometimes you have to navigate and figure out how do you handle it, but it's also just about like, if you upset me, I'm not going to go stew in it and talk to 15 other people about how rude Heather is because she's so mean. I'm going to be like, hey, that just really bugged me, or my feelings are hurt, or why do you have such an attitude, or whatever it might be. Like, we're honest and transparent, and just it makes for stronger communication, more respect, and just faster momentum, because people, at the end of the day, people are people. And whether you want to say emotions are involved or not, it doesn't matter. But perception's reality, and you've got to work through and see how someone may feel. And it's okay for someone, if someone's going to say, hey, I feel this way, you have to also be prepared for then to hear how they might feel, right? And it's about a conversation, which is just, I feel like our team
I feel like that is probably one, it probably is the biggest challenge that I've had personally in becoming a business leader. You had to do this all the time in your previous job, right? So you're used to it, and you've taught me so much about this. I am a very independent worker. I had a job where I specifically worked nights, so I didn't have to answer to anybody. Like, I prefer the independent working. I just always have. I like to be left alone. I don't want you to tell me what to do. I don't want to answer to anybody, which is why this job is also good for me. But the uncomfortable conversations are really hard for me. And I think this applies to everybody. Like, it's way easier to bitch about somebody rather than deal with it and go talk to them directly and say, you know what, like, this isn't up to par. This is not excellent. This is not up to standard. Like, that's really hard, I think, to tell somebody, because nobody wants to hurt each other's feelings. And even at the end of the day, though, we all
have the same intention.
Right. We all want to put out the best work. And we always say, well, if that was me, I would really want to know. But do you? No. I want you to tell me I'm great. And I don't want you to tell me that I hurt your feelings or something that I said was offensive, or I don't know. I don't like the uncomfortable conversations, which is kind of ironic because I value that a lot in a person, as being like super honest and true and authentic. I love that about people. My closest friends are the same way. Like, I love being able to have those like real and raw conversations. Right. I don't like the fluffy nonsense.
Yeah, right.
I don't need fluffy friends. I need real friends that care about real stuff and real life and all that.
And can make you think sometimes. You don't always have
challenge my thoughts. I also don't need friends that just agree with me. Right. That's kind of boring.
Right? Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome.
So you've also taught me one other thing, and I think we talked about this maybe like in the very beginning, but you said this to me over and over and over again, that this is our story and we get to write it however we want. And I super appreciate that, and I feel like we've gotten a lot better about it. That applies to like not caring necessarily what other people think of what you're doing, making your own rules. But where was I going with that? I don't know, but
I'm rubbing off on you.
I know. Well, not everybody. You get to write your own story, but what happens when like nobody wants to read your story?
Then you haven't found your people yet. I don't know. You know, you have to. I think, you know, I remember going back to when this was a big conversation, was when we were in the little shed, right? And it was about, you know, hours of operation or whatever, and. Just because, you know, Susie down the road does this doesn't mean we have to. We get to do our own thing. And again, I'm going to go back and remind us, this was particularly about like pick up, drop off. Our family's most important. So if
you get to choose your own adventure.
Right. Like, back to my book, right? If that's what you need to do, then that's okay. And I can't get upset with you because we had to close the store for 30 minutes because you had to go pick up a kid. Who cares? Then if I get frustrated with that, then everything that I'm saying and agreeing to in our mission, values, and philosophy is stupid, right? I don't agree.
Stupid.
I was going to say something else. And then at the same point, if I want to take and say, hey, you know what? I can't do Saturday consults for the spring season because I'm going to be at the baseball field, and you get frustrated with me about that, well, then you're contradicting everything that's in our values, right? So it's it's hard to do because you're in the moment, and then you think about every minute you're away from your business is a lost opportunity, potentially. Some may view it that way. But if you don't get the break and the rest and the rejuvenation, then you're not giving yourself, you might be giving your business 23 hours a day, but you could give your best 7 and be far more productive, right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
But sometimes as a business owner, you think like the more that I'm doing, that just means more. And your boundaries, your story.
No, I think there is. I think there's some statistic that like the top entrepreneurs in the country, the bazillionaires,
they work like 4 hours.
I think it's like 4 hours, right?
A week.
A week, or I was going to say a day, but maybe
I think it's a book. A 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's yellow. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, but back to writing your story, right? Like, think about how many types of books there are and how many different authors there are, and not every book is going to be for everyone.
Yes, this book is by
The 4-Hour Work Week.
Ferris, I believe, and it is the 4-Hour Work Week. It is yellow and red.
We should read that.
Yeah, remember I said I'll be on a beach somewhere? There we go. I'm with my hammock with palm trees.
Okay.
Maybe that's the book I'm going to buy. And we're buying our team books. We're doing mid-year reviews, right? Or annual self-evals. So they're all doing, having conversation with us about what they've learned about themselves.
Yeah.
And as we're listening, I'm writing down books that we're going to get. So our staff meeting, they're all going to get a book that's aligning to what they're focused on, whether it's personal, it's professional, whatever. Okay. Sorry, I digress.
Yeah, no. But the point is, like, you don't have to be for everyone, right? Like, your uniqueness makes you really special. And I feel like, especially in today's day and age, when you want to please everyone and not offend anyone and not get canceled, standing up for particularly Christian beliefs, I feel like can be really challenging because it can definitely go against the grain. And sometimes we think, what if people don't like us or don't want to support our business because they might not believe what we believe?
Mm-hmm. But just because
that's okay.
And just because people have certain beliefs, I mean, that's what makes America great, right? Is there's a lot of different things out there.
Right.
Diversity doesn't make anybody bad.
No.
Unless you're being harmful to people or, like I said, doing unethical things. But like everybody, if they have different beliefs, that's okay. And that's what makes people. But it's about being respectful and listening and being there, but at the same point, your beliefs don't have to influence mine, and that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't make anybody good or bad,
right?
So, but it's hard. I mean, I remember when we talked about playing, creating our playlist and playing it, and at first I was like, oh, I don't know about this. Now I'm like, where's our playlist? We need our playlist. It's our number 1 clicked on link in our newsletters for about 2 years going.
Because we play Christian music.
Mm-hmm. It's our number 1 clicked link in our emails.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter where I put that link. It could be at the top. It could be at the bottom.
Yeah, which means somebody's listening to it.
And it's fun. I find myself singing many a time.
So how do we make sure that we're staying true to those, if those are the foundational principles that we've aligned with, right? Our vision, philosophy, our mission. How do we make sure, as the years go by, that we are staying aligned to those core beliefs?
Well, I think one thing that we did just recently, we had them. So first we put them out for public view. Anybody that walks in our building can see them.
Yeah, they're right behind the cash wrap, blown up, big.
But they weren't there before. They were over to the side, and you didn't really see them. It's like, they were there. Oh, they're on our website. Yeah. But then when we opened the second location, we made them really big, and they were right behind the cash wrap, and they were huge. Mm-hmm. And then when we closed that location, we were like, why not do the same thing here? Why did we feel so comfortable over there to say, here we are, and not here? So we put them up. So I think that's one thing is, or honest.
Well, when you put them up for public display,
yeah,
it holds you accountable, right? So now anybody, they're on our website. So if you are doing something that's not aligning to what you said you believe, please somebody better call us out on it, right? So you're held accountable to a different standard when you put it out there publicly.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the second thing that we've done, so we also have, values as a brand with our team. We created those about 2 years ago. And, they were like introduced in a meeting on a piece of paper and then poof, gone. And so we brought them back out last year. And so now they're they kick off every meeting. They're like one poof. They kick off every meeting. It's like the second page after the agenda. But they're also posted for our team. We call it the Oval Office, which is where our break room is. And so it's in there right next to our vision board, like that people can see. Our team is constantly reminded. So like one of them, speak truth in love, right? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. I always butcher everything when I try to say it. So that way, if I try to go give Heather feedback or talk to her about something.
Like, you don't sound very loving right now.
Remind myself of our value of being kind and how we say it and how it comes across and listening to what the person's going to say in return, right? And so it's there and, it's a reminder for our team.
So we'll definitely let's put our mission, value, philosophy. We'll put it in the notes, and then we'll also put
our brand values.
The brand values in there. I think that is super important. So,
but how we came up with one, there's an activity that I went to that leadership conference, Ramsey, and it was a whole activity. We did it on a car ride, and we asked each other about. Well, I asked you because you were driving, but I took all the notes, and then we dug in. So it's not just it was a well thought out process of how we got there. Yeah. It's not quick. The mission, values, philosophy might be a little bit quicker, but when you identify some specific internal values as a team, you want those to be concrete and something that can stand the test of time or that you can refer back to, and that it's the heart of who you are.
Yeah. But I think that it would be easy for a new entrepreneur or even somebody who's maybe started something years ago that maybe never did this exercise, because it's so easy to like get right into it. I need a website. I need this. I need this. And I got to get going and I got to make money. To maybe skip over this step, I feel like would be pretty easy to do.
Well, we didn't do it until year 6.
Not the mission and values.
Oh, no, that was
the brand standards. Yes, that did come a little bit later, but not the mission, value, philosophy came
very beginning,
right away in the very beginning. But I'm just saying that even could have been easy to skip over.
Yeah.
But I think skipping that step doesn't give you anything to fall back on, to realign with as the years go on and like different things get thrown at you. You have to have something to come back to, your center, your grounding, your core. Does this align with this? So you can be able to know what to say yes and no to. If something comes your way, an opportunity, a growth, a expansion, whatever it may be, does that align to what I said my main mission and goal was? If the answer is yes, then awesome. Take the opportunity, take the risk, take the chance. If this is pulling you away and further from what you said your mission was, then that's your answer. It's a no. And it's okay to say no to those things. But without having any kind of center grounding, how are you going to know what to say yes or no to? What opportunities to take, what chances to take, what risks to say yes or no to if you don't have that? And I just feel like it's a step that maybe doesn't seem that important if it's just you. You're like, it's just me. I know what I believe. I don't need to
write it down.
It's just me. It's a company of one. I don't need to do it. I know what I stand for.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Well, and I also think too, a lot of times, there's not great statistics around partnerships. So businesses that are with 2 people.
And with that, we have breaking news. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up. I was like, we do? What's our breaking news? Thought you got a text message or something.
And with that, we have breaking news. I'm now a partnership of 1.
But with a partnership, right, having your mission, values, and philosophy, it makes it really easier if all of a sudden you started doing things and I was like, hey, like bring it back to this is why we started. And if the partnership does dissolve because, thoughts are different, views are different, or even just, things that happen in your life are taking you a different course, having something to fall back on to say like, hey, back 3 years ago, this is what we agreed to.
We said this was really important, remember?
Yeah. And if someone's like, actually, it's not me, or actually I just said that because you wanted it, or it makes those conversations, to be honest and truthful, much easier. So it's important to have.
So we will share all that and the activity of how to create those.
I got to see if I even have any information.
If
not, we'll create an activity.
But I think that's really awesome, and it would be really, really helpful. Even if you've already started your business and you're like, wait a minute, I never did that. Go back now. Take the time.
It's never too late.
Put some thought into it and go back and create those things for yourself or your company.
Mm-hmm. And also, when you create this stuff, don't hold on to it. Like, don't keep it like sacred information. If you're going to take the time to put your thoughts on paper, and the people that are working for you need to be aligned with you. So
I was just going to say, it really has been helpful, I think, for the whole entire team. As it grows and expands and you add on employees, they all know too what you stand for. They see that right in your very first interview, like, hey, this is what our company is all about. This is what we aim to do. This is our mission, our value, and our philosophy. And this is what we're going to fall back on time and time again. And please it's also like accountability, which is super important too, is having somebody else to hold you accountable to doing what you said you're going to do. Mm-hmm.
And that can go all the way through every aspect of business, every bit.
Or life.
Yeah, like I'm going to drink my whole
or
water
life. Oh, can you show us your water?
I can't. My workout.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of
what I have to drink every day.
Speaking of being accountable, dude, I'm not gonna say you can't do it, but it is already.
I'm gonna text you tonight when I do finish.
It's already like 1:30 p.m.
I know, and I'm supposed to be halfway there. But also, this tells me I have to stop drinking water at 7. You know how much water I drink?
You can't. You're gonna be up all night long.
No, I won't be. No.
Okay. This is impressive.
I'm gonna do it. It was only $16 too.
Okay. You didn't give me one.
You want one?
Maybe.
All right. You want to do it with me?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I mean, if I do it, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I gotta.
But you can't put any of your stuff in here. You gotta drink plain water. Also, both Heather
I cannot
and I
fill
hate water.
this. I cannot fill this with tequila. So sorry.
No packets of anything. This has to be straight up water.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post this on stories, and then I'm gonna post it on stories tonight when it's gone.
Okay.
Can I do it? Do you think I can do it?
I mean, I don't want to say that you can't, but I'm just looking at the labels, and you're at the time at 7:15 a.m.
Well, it's only 8.
Okay. Can't you do it? Vote now. All right. Let's go down to our questions of the day. These are fun.
These are good ones.
Okay. What is your favorite part of the business for you to do?
Oh.
Favorite part?
I've got 2. Can I have a 2-part?
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
I love business analysis, reforecasting, and strategy, hands down. I pride myself on forecasting abilities from a financial perspective.
Yeah, you're good at it.
That is my favorite thing. My second thing, interior design, particularly new build and renovation.
What part of it?
Fixture finish selection.
You're oddly good at like pulls and knobs.
It is an often
cabinet hardware.
It is an often
overlooked. It's a lost art.
Dismissed item that is your first impression that tells a story.
It's a lost art for real.
It's so important. You could have the most beautiful kitchen renovation, but you lose it in your cabinet hardware selection.
No, the highest end, right? And you stick the wrong hardware on there, and it's done.
And no one will notice it until you have someone like me who comes along that is like, the hardware matters. Hello, we can't put this up there. Take it off. I mean, we are known for buying something. You know, sometimes we can't always do custom stuff, right? We got to change the knobs, right? You got to. I don't think I've ever put a piece of furniture in my home with the same knobs that it came with. Not once.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Except my kids' rooms, because they just get destroyed. But yeah,
I'm gonna go around and look at my hardware now.
Mm-hmm. And also paint colors. I mean, both of those things are my 2 passions of life. But
paint colors and hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yours is like schematics and space planning.
Oh, see, I didn't even know my answer, but you're right.
Blueprints.
I love a blueprint, man. Oh, give me the layout. It's like a puzzle. It's just like, it's like a challenge. Everybody knows I love a challenge. Right? Like it's a puzzle that you want to make. I just want to make it perfect. I want every space to be so functional and I'm also I feel like I'm good. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I enjoy it. Like logistic things, like thinking about the back ends of like how things work.
We're getting better though. We did have a slight issue with you in logistics for a little while.
What?
You're getting really nervous about this.
And I was like, what is my issue?
There were some times that Heather would get so caught up in logistics, like to the point of like it wasn't even in her scope of work for a job or only for years, but she needed to understand how it was going to happen. And like almost to the point it made us look stupid. Like the people that we'd be interacting with, and they're like, yeah, we get that. We do this every day. And she's like, well, I don't know. I just want to understand. Like, I don't know.
Like who? With what?
I don't know. Real estate, for example. The moving of furniture from state to state.
No. Right, like it's not my job. I
just want to know, drive through the night.
How? Like, how are you going to guarantee that my furniture, right, is going to get shipped from A to B to like? Well, because I think at the end of the day, though, right, it is our name, it is our company, it is like we are at the end of the day responsible. So I need to know that everybody else knows how to do their job too,
right?
So that I don't look dumb,
right,
to the client.
Yeah, no, I get it. But there's now you're like back. You're like I need to know logistics for my job. My role, not so much of like. I remember one time I was doing. This was just a favor, right? So I was helping a friend out for like a after funeral centerpieces. It was just like 4, and I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it in this wicker bowl, and I was getting it from Crate and Barrel. This one, well, okay, fine. You selected Crate and Barrel, but how are you going to get there? I was like, drive my car. Well, when?
When are you going to have time to go to Crate and Barrel and get these?
I was like, Thursday at 3 p.m. Fine. I'll just let you deal with it. I was like, it's not hard. It's not. Does it involve you? It does not.
My life felt very overwhelming, and I wanted to be a part of it.
I was like, this is fine. We're not working Thursday. I'm good to go. We're good. It was the funniest. That was so funny. But that was back when we were like opening. It was a lot going on. So, anywho.
Right? All the details matter. I got to make sure. Anyway, all that to say, yes, I really
now
love
you tell us. Yeah.
I really love a blueprint. I love layouts. Mm-hmm. I do love furniture selections also, but I feel like...
And you're also, the other part, rug selection. I don't know how sometimes you see the smallest details that I'm like, what?
I'm good at rugs and color palettes.
Uh-huh. That would be fun to do. You know how it's like, in yearbooks, it's like...
most likely to superlatives.
Yeah, superlatives. I was like, what's that word? It would be funny to like go through our team and like just be like, all right, Heather, rugs and color palettes. That's your specialty. Diane, cabinet hardware, paint color.
So dorky.
So funny.
Like what were you in high school? Do you remember?
This is salty. I don't want to talk about it.
What? You don't like what you were?
No, I was great. But technically... I lost by like 2 points.
Most likely to what?
I was best dressed.
I was best dressed.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to us. This was back in 1995.
I was 7. I'm just kidding. I wasn't.
You probably were.
I wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the second question.
Second question is...
If you started a new business, what would it be? I think we're going to have the same answer on this.
We have the same answer.
100% same answer.
Well, because we've talked a little bit about it.
This might be the next avenue that we're going to take.
It might be our next business.
That could have been the breaking news that she was going to share with you.
I don't know enough about it. So if anybody knows,
here we go, logistics.
If anybody wants to partner, I gotta know how it works. I don't understand how it works, but I would love to talk to somebody who does.
I need a mentor, I think.
We need a mentor. So if you know anybody, send them our way.
Our friend, when she hears this episode, if she's listening, is going to be like, that's what I do for a living, right?
Well, yeah, to a point, yes, but not like really what I don't think like what we're thinking of. But so it's real estate, but not just I don't really want to be a realtor and like that kind of real estate. I want to know how to just keep rolling it. Buy and sell and buy and sell and flip and renovate and Airbnb it and
all of those things she does.
For her own personal wealth?
Yeah, she just started I think she just started like a property management company too.
Oh, dang it.
I know, but she could be our mentor.
Okay.
But
that
yes,
sounds good.
I'm with you. That's also what I would love to do. Real estate, all facets of it. It's fascinating to me. Fascinating.
Yeah, and I love,
but it's scary.
But I still love the construction. I mean, this isn't really like a great market for flipping right now necessarily, but maybe it will come back around. I would love a good flip. I'd love
I would love a good flip.
I would love a good flip. I don't know. I love that stuff. I love construction. Feel like I've been on the design end of it, but
we can walk into spaces that
I'd like
we
to
can see things that people don't see. We just see it.
We can just see it. And I feel like I would really like to maybe hone in on my tool expertise. Like,
I'll let you do that by
I want to
yourself.
learn how to use more tools.
I'm good. I'll just tell you what to build.
No, I just don't really have any, I would like to learn how to, I think those are just badass women who can just
what do you want to do?
Throw on the overalls and I don't know, just build shit.
Like what? Like a dresser? Or do you want to build a house?
No, I don't want to get into finish work and wood detail. I don't need to build something. I want to knock down walls. I want to be able to put up, studs and things.
You surely sound like you know what you're talking about. That's for sure.
Do I? I mean, it was really empowered when I was newly single again. I got my own drill. I got my own, I got a chainsaw last year for Christmas. I got,
this is true. It was on our Christmas list.
Right? A chainsaw. And that's really empowering, you know, to be able to feel like I know how to use those tools.
Unlike me over here, I'm not allowed.
Oh, and I got a saw thing.
I'm not allowed to even use my power washer unless my 8-year-old is home. And this has been since he was 5, actually.
I do enjoy also power washing.
When he was 5 years old, my husband called me and said, "You are not allowed to use the power washer unless Jake sets it up for you." And he was 5 years old at the time.
Yeah. So you keep drinking water. I will learn to build something.
Well, I'm going to hold you then accountable. Tools and tequila. We're going to do it either for our
those
YouTube
are really,
short.
Literally
or
my 2 specialties, and we've had this workshop.
My 2 specialties: tequila and tools.
Tools and tequila. And we've had this idea for a workshop for years now, and we've never done it. But I would love to empower other women because I'm sick of hearing women say, "Oh, I have to wait for my husband to hang something." Are you kidding me? It's a nail and a hammer. You can do it. You can hang a photo.
I don't even let my husband hang pictures in my house because he goes, "Don't, boof, hole."
A hole.
No, I want to
just
empower
women
print.
that we don't wait. Just learn how to do it yourself. You can do hard things, and anyway.
Yeah, everybody on our team builds in some sense. Actually, everybody on our team knows how to use a drill, a hammer, a screwdriver.
I've made sure
a mallet.
Everybody. I don't think that they've liked me many a times when I'm like, "No, you got it. I'm right here. I'll hold this for you," and I make them do it, and I'm hoping that secretly they're thankful deep down.
I know that's like a prereq. That might be our number 1. Do you know how to use a drill?
Yeah, it's fun.
If not, we'll teach you. That's day 1 of onboarding.
No, we're not going to wait around for somebody else to do it for us. We're just going to get after it.
Yeah. So hopefully a good flip is in our future.
All right. We'll keep you posted.
All right.
Until next time.
See ya.